Hey guys, welcome to the weekly live stream.
Hello.
I'm John, and today I have Michiel, or Mike as you know it.
Hello.
And first of all, apologize.
3 weeks in a row, man. 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah, 3 weeks
I
already?
think everyone is tired of me already.
Well, let us know. Are you tired of
Oh,
Michiel? Put it in the chat.
Now everyone will confirm it in chat. Oh,
Alright.
not Mike again. Third week.
Alright guys, so yeah, we started a little bit later today because as you can see here, we have a very difficult setup here and we unfortunately had some technical difficulties, so we really hope we fix it last minute. And
otherwise you will find out in a couple of...
Otherwise you're going to see it for yourself later in the live stream, which we hopefully will not see. Yeah, guys, welcome. Of course, we're going to play Resident Evil Village today.
Well, you are going. I'm scared.
Well, actually, I am. So yeah. So I hope you're going to clench your butthole and sit tight and be afraid, because I'm definitely going to be. Though I'm very big Resident Evil fan. You know, once you're in the game, you just cannot get used to this kind of survival horror. It's yeah, but. That is Resident Evil, right? So yeah, of course, before all of that, we'll go through the test bench, hardware, all the components on there, all kind of goodies, and of course, all the delicious GPUs that you're seeing in front of you.
And then all viewers should switch off their lights, sit in the dark, and watch the stream.
Oh yeah. And today, initially, we try really hard to get you guys Resident Evil Village game codes. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do so we thought of something else. That's why today you see here, if you go to msite.com/2/insider, you'll get, well, at least you have a chance at winning one of the few bundles. So yes, one bundle consists of a total value of $60 of Steam Wallet codes.
So basically, it's 3 times $20 Steam Wallet code, so 60 in total. So then
and we'll have several of them to be given away, so you can buy Resident Evil Village in Steam anyways, right?
Or if you're scared, you can buy another game as well.
Yes, but really give it a try.
Chat is really
it's an awesome game. Give it a try.
They're still okay with having me. And Merrick is saying, so Mike is the producer today using the Elgato Stream Deck. Look, Merrick, there it is.
I see somebody joined the stream last week.
For sure.
Okay, guys. So we're doing this. Well, we're streaming on multiple platforms, but you know, for the best experience, we suggest you to go to YouTube and just look for MSI Insider, and you should be able to see us live there on our YouTube channel. Also for the best interaction, because for example, we have some issues with Facebook chat. So if you're watching on Facebook, so unfortunately we cannot really interact with you. But it's good to see the chat is already very lively, with many people saying hi and getting on the stream from Twitch, YouTube, and Periscope, or Twitter. All right, guys. So hang on. We're gonna get into the live stream. And first of all,
JPSH is saying, "I'm scared and I will buy a different game instead, please."
Come on, he doesn't look that scary, right?
He doesn't look very friendly.
It's okay. I mean, this is already the 8th edition, right, to Resident Evil's
Have you played
series.
all of them, Joe?
No, actually, I have played the old school Resident Evil 4 and 5, which is like about 10, 15 years ago. They were by far my favorites. And then 6 came out, didn't really like it. And then 7 really changed the game for me, because they really switched to first-person view, and the whole survival genre got so much more real, and of course also with the bump in visual quality. And then they remade Resident Evil 2 and 3 with amazing graphics.
Does this also support virtual reality?
For support what?
VR? Does it support?
No. But I believe I think I have seen some custom mods where they did integrate this game into VR, but I really don't recommend anybody to try that out.
You have to change your underwear every 5 minutes.
Yeah, Heart of Steel. But yeah, so after 7, of course, came the 8th edition of the game, and that's you know, today's main star. Now, as usual, if you have any questions regarding the game, regarding the test bench, regarding anything that you see, you know, if you want to know where I buy my clothes, you know, how Mike does his hair, just drop it in the chat. We'll do our best to attend to your questions or any statements that you might have. If you have any opinions, also share them in the chat. So let's go. Now I'll try my best to keep an eye out on the chat, but I'm gonna rely on Mike to do a lot of the work of the chat reading for me because I'll be busy doing all this kind of stuff, right?
I already see a question.
Yeah.
Parsifal Wade is asking, is there a list or queue I can join to buy a 30 series card? No, that list or queue would probably be too long. No, but without kidding, there are web shops that have queues and stuff for those graphics cards. There is, of course, quite a big shortage in graphics cards, so it is hard to obtain a 30 series card. There are queues, but yeah, it's mostly on reseller sites, so maybe the store in your city or your village has a queue. Let's see.
I see my buddy Benny is also in the chat saying, I play Resident Evil 4 with me. Yeah, we had a good time. Okay. Yeah. So if there's anything else, I'm gonna hear it from Mike, but I'm gonna get started with the test bench. Yeah. So if we switch to another view, we can see a little bit in more detail what's on the test bench from this angle. So of course here you see the big boy. Today we have the of course the Radeon RX S6900 XT. So really, you know, if you're looking for a beast, the best of the best, it's sitting right here to really contest this game. And right on here, I'm going to show you in another view. I'm just going to give you a general introduction of what's on here, and then later, right after this, we're going to tell you briefly, you know, what kind of specifications.
What did you drop on that motherboard on the heatsink?
Yeah, well, this came from our technical experts, and they kind of play with this, you know.
They usually stack motherboards on top of each other. Like, don't do that at home. You will scratch your heatsink because you got like the solder points on the back of a motherboard. And they can be quite sharp. If you put them on top of another heatsink, then you get this. So don't do that. Don't stack motherboards on top of each other.
So let us just start with the thick boy. Look at this thick boy. It's like 3 fingers thick. The beefy heatsink. Well, here we have our RX 6900 XT. Now, of course, if you paid attention to the front of the table, you also see here we have the 67.
So this is where all the graphics cards went.
Yeah, if only you knew how much money is on the table right now, you'll be you'll be quite surprised. But I think anybody following the tech or anybody that's a little bit of a gamer should know some prices, right? So there's a lot of money right now on the table. So if you want to rob us right now, this will be the right opportunity. So here we have the 6700 XT Gaming X. Here we have the 6800 XT and the Gaming X Triumph version. And of course here we have the 69. Now, our colleague Peter, he has done in-depth live streams with teardowns, in-depth benchmarkings, and all the goodies of the 6000 series. So if you're interested in that, please go to after this live stream, go check out our playlist, MSI Insider or our MSI Gaming YouTube channel. There you'll find all the live streams that he did regarding the 6000 series. Of course, also include gameplays and live demos and stuff like that. So today we're not going to go in depth regarding, what can the 6900 XT do. I think all of you guys should already more or less know what they can do, right? The rival of the 3090 from NVIDIA. So yeah, I'm just gonna briefly go through in case you missed anything. Here we have the newest, the Trifroster. And the heatsink, it has a very, very good capability. Well, the heatsink is designed in such a way that it will precisely dissipate the heat and the airflow. You
can actually see the wave curve fin design if you look in the fan, like through the blades. No, through the fan.
Yeah, but wait.
Yeah, there.
I was looking differently.
You can actually see the wave curve fin design there.
Yeah. So you see, it's not just like here what you see. It's a very different pattern.
They're not straight fins anymore like you used to see in the past. And this is for to avoid turbulence of the air, so essentially giving you noise reduction, because they basically break the airflow at a certain point, and that reduces turbulence underneath the fan, like in between the fan and the heatsink.
All right. And of course here you see a fabulous RGB, and on the back there is a metal backplate, so this will help you even more with the heat dissipation. And with all this beefy cooling, this card is very silent, so when you're pushing this to the max, well, later when I'm demonstrating this with the gameplay, you will also notice that you will not hear the additional noise. Well, of course it's going to make some noise, but you know, it's going to be very silent. And here we also have the anti-bending bracket pre-installed into the GPU. So if you're like using this card horizontally, like right now, this will really make sure that in time, because this card is very heavy, that in time this will not bend. And in the box there's also a support bracket that you can install into the case that's going to give the horizontal support. So you're really making sure that this is firmly placed into the PCIe slot. So even if I'm moving around, that there's going to be minimum movement for the GPU.
Ricoman is saying, I was on a tech forum with someone who wants to build a custom PC, a PC case with no fans. That is definitely possible, but it is complicated, and it's with the hardware we're using today, it's very complicated. Because yeah.
So yeah, to summarize, this card has our Trifroster 2 technology in there. There is the Torx fan 4.0, and if we go back to this view, you see that see the fan they stopped running again. This is because the passive cooling capability of this massive heatsink is already enough to cool the GPU low enough that it's not even needed to have the fans spinning anyways. So once the GPU thinks it's needed, they will start spinning. Yeah, if you have any questions, just try to drop them in the chat. We'll do our best to answer the questions. So yeah, you might have noticed usually Peter is the one doing the GPU stuff, right? Because he is the real expert in our team for when it comes to GPU. But today we're doing a more general live stream in which we'll test the Resident Evil. And here you'll see a very beefy liquid cooling with stats that's being displayed on the display. And I think if you watch our past live stream, you might have already noticed which liquid cooling this one is, because this one is our latest liquid cooling, the Core Liquid K360. And this you'll be able to customize into the software, which I will also show you in just a bit. Here, so the radiator is sitting right here. Let me do it this way. So 3 fans being the 360 size. Very beefy. Now I'm not sure if Mike still wants to add anything to this, because I'm sure he has quite some nice stuff to tell about it.
The 360mm model, but the case series are also available in 240mm models. So it depends a bit on the case if you have space for a 360 or not. Both are very capable coolers, by the way, but for example, today we're using the Ryzen 9 5950X, so that's a 16-core processor. So that's why we decided to use the 360mm model. It's very silent, it's very powerful, and of course really nice with a small screen on top where you can put, for example, like Ja did now, the diagnostic information. So you see temperatures, you see clock speeds, etc. But you can also, for example, put your own picture on there, or put some text on there.
Yeah, I can show you guys right now how you can do this. So since we're talking about this anyways, if you have this product, you can go to our website and then just download on this product page the MSI Center, which is also our newest software. This used to be the Dragon Center, but we kind of fused this. We also had Creator Center and we had Gaming, which is the Dragon Center, but this is like the all brand new encompassing center for all of our products. And if you just go to here, you'll see that if you click on features, there's the Core Liquid, because that's what this lineup belongs to, the CPU cooling. And once you're here, it's a very simple menu. You can see if you click on hardware monitor, which it's by default it's on, you will see that frequency, temperature, and radiator fan speed is right now being chosen. If you want to replace anything, you just uncheck one, and then, for example, maybe even add GPU usage if that's what you like to see. And right away you will see, well, the CPU head is already, well, showing the updated information. And what Mike just mentioned, you can also put on some nice GIFs. So for example, if we go for this one, and then let me go back to the view here, you'll also see right there. If you don't want to show any stats, you can just you know, put on something, and let me choose another one, some nice GIFs. So it reacts really fast as well. And if you want to display some text, that's also possible, because right now, for example, I typed in get wrecked. I'm gonna upload this, and there you go. You can add your custom text on this as well.
And also right now you see that the tubes are on the right side of the block, but for example, if your case has a different layout, or if you want to switch stuff around and you want to have your tubes on top or bottom or the other side, then you can also change the direction in the software. So if we go back to the capture, in the top right you see direction, and when you click that you can decide in what direction your block is positioned on your CPU. So the direction of the image will also change. So you always have the image or the text in the right direction. And you can also adjust the brightness here. You can switch it on or off. So a lot of stuff you can do with it.
Yeah. So basically, you know, since we're actually using the AMD's 5950X, and you know, this one has absolutely no problem with cooling it. So yeah, Mike, for what kind of customers, what kind of gamers is this liquid cooling meant for?
Yeah, this is really one of the more higher end liquid coolers. We also have our MAG Core Liquid series. They also cool very good, but they're a little more subtle. They don't have, for example, the LCD screen and stuff like that. Also the cooling performance of the K series is a little bit stronger. So especially the 360mm model, then you're looking at the higher end CPUs, or for people who want to do overclocking with their CPU. If you're only going to run a more entry level CPU and not going to overclock it, then you will also be perfectly fine with a more modest cooling solution.
Troy just said, Michiel is the smart kid, so he will surely have additional points to say. Very true, very true. And somebody is asking, Annie Ruth, why is it all AMD today? Well, mainly because Resident Evil 8 is an exclusive partner title with created with AMD, so that's why it also has a lot of the AMD features, which I'll also entail in just a minute once we've finished, you know, introducing the test bench. So yeah, that's why we have AMD CPU, we have AMD GPU.
Also, we like to switch it up a little. Sometimes we have Intel, NVIDIA. Today is AMD day.
Yeah. Okay. So, okay, someone is asking, can we add picture on the cooler? Well, I'm sure you can, but right now I'm not sure if you can
actually
custom.
If you go back to our previous live stream, because I did a dedicated live stream about this liquid cooler, if you go to our YouTube channel, there you can find the playlist MSI Insider. And if you go back a little, then you will see a dedicated live stream about this liquid cooler. And there I, for example, also demonstrated how in my situation I put a picture of myself and my cat on top of the water block. So that's, for example, something you can do. So yes, you can definitely add your own picture and display it on top.
Okay. So what about the price? Somebody is asking for the all.
I don't know the MSRP from the top of my head. I believe it's for the 360mm, $250, I think, approximately.
Yeah, but this is going to look quite different depending on where you are.
Yeah, it very much depends on the region. So to get the correct price in your region, best to check with your local reseller to see what the price is.
Sticky Yuk is saying, which cards do Jachi and Michiel have in your personal rigs? Right now, I actually borrowed one from work, so I have a RTX 2080.
Oh, so that's how you solve the shortage problem.
Yep. So yeah, I actually borrowed one from work, and otherwise, I was actually still using a very, very old one, because I'm a competitive gaming player mainly. So I usually don't play too much AAA title games, So for that, you will need a beefier GPU, and yeah. So I still actually am using a RX 580.
And what did you steal from our department now?
Original, yeah.
3090?
And I borrowed a RTX 2080 for it's one of the samples that's sitting in one of my gaming desktop samples. So yeah. So
did you already find out I stole the other one for a streaming PC?
Oh, did you?
RTX 2060.
Yeah.
I'm personally running a GTX 1070, by the way, in my personal rig.
Okay. Rafi is saying I want to try an X series desktop with RTX 30 GPU. Well, that's actually already available and on the market right now. So if you're interested, you can look around and you should be able to find some, unless your local retailer didn't have anything in stock or don't have anything in stock. So that's going to be a little bit different.
Peter's asking YouTube chat, is the price determined by the number of fans on the radiator? That of course plays part in it, because it's not only the fan but also the radiator is bigger, so more material, so it's slightly more costly. But it's also defined on other features, like for example the LCD screen that you will find on this one, by using RGB fans, stuff like that. This one also has an additional semi-passive fan underneath the screen, and that one helps to reduce the VRM temperatures on the motherboard. It will only start spinning if it actually needs to, by the way, so it's not always spinning. But yeah, it depends. There's for example our MAG series is slightly cheaper. So for example, if you have the 240 from our MAG series and our MPG series, the MPG will be a little bit more expensive. But it's not only the size that defines the price.
Okay, sitting underneath it on all of these great components is, of course, our Unify, which Mike is quite a big fan of because he doesn't really like RGB. And on the Unify...
Oh, now chat will be probably angry at me that I'm not an RGB guy.
Yeah, if we switch back, you will notice that there's nowhere on the motherboard, well, except for this little 2 LEDs that's like blinking red, but that's really all. There is no RGB on this black board.
No, it's
really just all
stealthy.
Performance and beefy VRM setup and great heatsink and yeah, no RGB.
It's completely black in it. It does have RGB headers, so if you want to connect, for example, RGB devices to it, you can. But the motherboard itself doesn't have any RGB, which I like. I like the stealthy look of the Unify series. But in terms of raw performance, the Unify series are extremely strong. This one, for example, for the VRM, it has 14 plus 2 phases, so 14 for the CPU, and 2 additional phases for the SoC. And all those 16 phases are 90 amp power stages, so extremely strong VRM design. So 14 90 amp power stages dedicated for the CPU. So also if you want to do extreme overclocking, even a Ryzen 9 like this, some people think that B550 is automatically mid-range. Well, not with the Unify. This is really a high-end board. So like today, running a Ryzen 9 5950X is no problem on this
piece
board.
of cake.
Yeah, you could even overclock it pretty far on this.
I see someone is saying, wait, where did it go? Here, Fliba on YouTube. 2080 Ti Gaming X Trio, and I'm loving mine, to be honest. Big fan of MSI. Well, if you have a 2080 Ti Gaming X Trio, then you are quite a badass, I must say, because yeah, that's a very, very powerful GPU. Even though it's a 20 series, but it's still especially being the Gaming X Trio version.
And the top model from the 20 series is still, by today's standards, a very, very capable card.
Well, Chris on Twitch is saying I got both my 3070s from the new X Shovel. Well, you got 2 of them? How did you manage that? All right.
Well, Scarper's asking, does the VRM still go over 100 degrees? No, you will run into CPU cooling issues way faster than you will run into VRM temperature issues with this motherboard.
Okay, so I just noticed someone saying no link to the giveaway. Well, first of all, if you just go to msi.com/2/insider, you'll be able to participate. The more actions you do, you perform, the more chances you have at winning one of the bundles today. So totaling a $60 value. And maybe, Mike, we have to check if our bot is doing its work or doing its job by giving the link to the chat, because every 5 minutes there's supposed to be a link being posted into the chat. Well, that's the job of our bot, but maybe it's not doing this right now, so we have to check.
I cannot check it on this notebook.
Yeah, but otherwise, yeah, just go to mset.com/insider and you should be fine. And speaking of which, maybe we can already draw today's first winner.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. So, usually, if you have watched our live streams before, you know that we generally always give out. Well, if we're not giving away game codes, we're giving away $20 Steam codes. Today, we're giving away bundles. So not just one, of 3 times $20. So one bundle is $60, and so yeah. Quite a big change in today's prize pool compared to before.
We have our first winner.
Oh, we have our first winner. So who's going to be able to play Resident Evil Village?
Or a game that's not so scary, if that's what you prefer.
So I guess his name is Sir. Sir.
Congratulations, sir.
Yeah, congrats. I hope you really like survival horrors, or if you like to have heart attacks, because that's what this game is meant for. Congratulations. We will contact you in the coming days by email, so keep an eye out on your mailbox and maybe even check your spam box. So there I will send you the bundle of 3 times $20 US Steam wallet code, so you can purchase the game on Steam yourself. Now guys, we have more bundles to be given away, so don't worry, you have already registered, and you'll still be in the drawing pool. So in the upcoming drawings, you'll still be in the pool, right? So don't worry, you don't have to redo it every time we announce a winner. And if you just joined, don't worry, there's still many chances to win one of the bundles. So you can still go to msi.com/2/insider and then perform as many actions as you can or want. The more you do, the higher your chance will be.
I see some people on YouTube are having trouble finding the link. Can you maybe check? Do you have your notebook nearby?
I can check. Just give me a second, guys.
We will see if the bot is sleeping on YouTube, because I think on Twitch it's working. I saw some people talking about it. And don't worry, we will have more drawings today, so still plenty of opportunity to win one of the $60 US Steam wallet code bundles.
The bot timer is on for YouTube, so it should be working on.
Is it unmuted as well for YouTube specifically? Bless you.
The echo is a little bit strong today. Let me check. It's it is. Let me just redo it. Then it should be fine.
Yeah, on Twitch it's working. People are confirming.
Okay, guys, if you just type in giveaway in YouTube, you should be able to.
I think exclamation mark giveaway.
Yeah.
Then the bot should
Seems
reply
like the
with the
system
link.
is up. All right, so just give us a signal to see if it's working now in YouTube. Should be. Otherwise, like I said, just go to this link right here. That also works.
And people on Twitch just confirmed that there it's working. So if you join Twitch chat, then for sure you can also see the direct link that is put there by the bot, in case it doesn't work on YouTube.
Yeah. Okay. Let's continue. So, we briefed you on the GPU, the liquid cooling, the motherboard, and the last components is going to be, kind of like the backbone, the support of your setup, but usually you don't see it, right? that's the PSU, of course. So we have today the MPG A850GF, which is a very, very beefy and capable PSU.
So beefy CPU and GPU means beefy power supply.
Of course. And some of you guys, if you haven't been catching up with news or our live streams, you might be wondering, okay, is this really MSI? Because this is a power supply. Well, that's true because we also have power supplies now. And well, Mike might have to jump in here, but we have the 851, and we also have the 751, and I believe we also have the 651,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
completely correct. All of them are fully modular. So on the other side there you can see all cables are detachable. So for the cables that you don't need, simply plug them out so you don't have a lot of cable mess inside your case that is maybe useless for what you're doing with your PC. So fully modular, including the CPU, motherboard cable, etc. It has a 140mm fan on top, so super silent as well. It's a multi-rail power design. Right now, also important to mention that because of the multi-rail power design and we're using a very beefy graphics card, we're actually load balancing between those different rails. So on the back of the PSU, I'm not sure if you can see the text. Can you get a little bit closer? Now the other side with the modular cables.
Yeah.
There it says VGA 1, VGA 2, so you have two separate rails for the VGA card.
Let me get in there.
And if it's a very beefy card, make sure to put one on the VGA 1 and one on the VGA 2 rail. That way you will load both rails within the power supply. Yeah.
I'm actually trying to look for the flashlight, but all right, there you go.
Oh, you got a light. Nice.
Yeah, I can
there
see
you
it
can
better.
So that's why I plugged one at the bottom, one at the top. If you put them side by side, they will be on the same rail.
So yeah, if you have always wanted to, build a all MSI setup, as you can see right here, you're able to do so because now, besides the
Lumpo's asking on Twitch, by the way, I missed the rating, 80 plus gold. Yes, it's 80 plus gold. Quickly interrupting. Continue.
No, I would just say, just to finish it off, really, if you wanted to have a all MSI setup, right now it is possible, as you can see right here. Besides the RAM, everything else is from MSI. So if you're interested in this kind of stuff.
Well, the CPU and the SSD are not MSI.
Yeah, but you can see it, right? You don't see them.
When are we making CPUs?
Yeah, why don't we?
Starting next month?
Could be. Keep an eye on it.
Announcement at Computex? Maybe? No, just kidding, guys. Not getting into the CPU business anytime soon.
Wow, Swizzler is saying, got the MSI Gaming X Trial 6900 XT. Do you now? Seems like somebody sold a kidney.
I think many people in chat will be very jealous.
Well, yeah, I like my kidneys very much, so I'll probably keep it. Okay. If there's any other questions in the chat, just drop it. Otherwise, if you have any other questions regarding what you're seeing right here, just let us know. And otherwise, I'm going to get into a little bit details regarding the kind of features that we're going to go through today, because like I said before, Resident Evil Village, it is an exclusive partner title from Capcom and AMD. So the gaming developer Capcom, they have integrated a lot of the AMD's features, namely FidelityFX, in order to have the game perform better and still be visually, doesn't lose any prowess. Okay, so for this, I just have some slides for you guys to understand the technology behind it.
Jeremy Wong is saying, less talking, more gaming. Jeremy, don't you notice that Ja is just talking because he's a little bit scared of the game, so he's just stretching it a little bit?
Well, Jeremy, that's like really, really weird name. Like, why are you called Jeremy? I'm just kidding. I know him actually. He's a buddy of mine, so shout out to him. But it's okay. we're gonna get to the gameplay very, very soon. So I'll try to get through the PowerPoints fast, because we need to understand this in order to really address the features later in the game, because I'm going to live demo the features. So right now it's like the background information regarding all these kind of features. So if you're like if you grab yourself a 67, 100 XT, 6800 XT, 6900 XT that's sitting right here, these are all these kind of features that you will be able to enjoy. So let's just start with the first one. Of course, it's always stuck the first time we use it. Okay. So AMD Fidelity FX. That's really the topic here. When we talk about all this kind of new stuff that AMD have been able to integrate into games with partners, and AMD Fidelity FX, this is actually like the umbrella, because within this umbrella there are like many other features. So let me just go through it. What is it? So with Fidelity FX, this is like an open source image quality enhancing toolkit. So developers, gaming developers, they can make use of this and see how they can improve their game for you guys, of course, to have a better gaming experience.
People are asking about the specs, by the way, so I'm quickly going to put it on the bottom here. Yeah. Then you can see today's setup.
Yeah, and if the specs is a little bit hard to read, just tell us, then we can enlarge it. That's no problem. So right now they have already introduced like 8 key features under the AMD Fidelity FX, and today we're mainly going to talk about
who made these specs. It says MSI X570 Godlike. This is totally an MEG B550 Unify.
Yes. Actually, I wanted to address that, but because we were having this issue, I didn't have time to have our designer change it anyways, because that was like a little miscommunication, because it was supposed to be changed already. Like yesterday, but that didn't happen, and we didn't have time to correct it anymore. Okay, but today, so we're mainly going to address the first 3 top features, which is the Fidelity FX Contrast Adaptive Sharpening, in short CAS, and the other one is going to be a it's quite a mouthful, but you will see later. But right now we're just going to call it Fidelity FX, the Ambient Occlusion. But this is actually the Cacao. We will show you all the details in just a minute and why it's called Cacao.
That's a cool abbreviation.
Yeah. So all of these features, they will make use of AMD's RDNA and RDNA 2 architectures, which, of course, with 2 especially being the newest introduction with the best features. In general, what should you know about Fidelity FX? And that is, this is the open source, which is trying to improve the visual quality while having minimal impact on the performance. Okay. So I'm not going to list all 8, because I think you already had time to read it if you had any interest. But today the top 3: CAS, Cacao, and also variable shading, or otherwise known also as variable rate shading. And Fidelity FX, it's already been implemented in many games, because AMD has been very active and vocal regarding this, and they have had many partners.
There we have it on the top left, Resident Evil Village.
Yeah, that's the newest one. With mainly many of the titles having either and or contrast adaptive sharpening CAS, and Cacao, so the ambient occlusion, and or just having the sharpening, or just having the occlusion, and sometimes they have and or. So depending on what title and what game. And really, Resident Evil Village being one of the premium titles having the most Fidelity FX features, as far as I know. So many games having Fidelity FX implemented, and as you can see here, some more here. Resident Evil 3, which was the remake, which I believe came out last year or year before that, which was also very nice. Actually, it was last year, because I did a live stream with it last year. Now I remember. Very nice game, but that one was still like third person, like the traditional ones. Monster Hunter, some of the popular titles all here, and there's even more. So quite a lot of games. And if you are interested,
one of my
you can
favorite
go to.
ones here.
Oh, which one?
No, the next one, NO 1800.
Oh yeah, you're still playing that one, right?
Yeah, I like NO 1800. It's a cool game. It's nice and chill. I just
Really
have a
isn't
nice
though, but
beer and I play some
From
NO.
what I heard from you, once you start playing this game, you cannot quit within hours.
Oh, it's really time consuming. Like one game of NO, it's not, you don't play it in one day. It's like I play several weeks within one game of NO. So it's a cool game. It's nice and relaxing.
Yeah, so I'm sure also for you guys that one of your favorite games, or many of your favorite games now out here, also Cyberpunk having CAS, so contract adaptive sharpening. Yeah, and I'm sure AMD are going to bring out even more titles and feature their exclusive features. So yeah, if you want to enjoy FidelityFX, yeah, there are quite some titles out there for you to do so. Now,
Chris is asking, does NO 1800 have multiplayer? Yes. Like if I play it, it has multiplayer. I only play multiplayer games basically.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it has.
Okay, so all right. So you're a very social person,
Or
just very competitive.
Yeah, mostly competitive.
All right, so let's dive a little bit in more details regarding the three main stars, the three main features that we're going to talk about today, which are also implemented in Resident Evil Village, which I will also demonstrate right after this. Just give us 5 or 10 more minutes, we're going to be done with this, okay? So the first of one is Cacao. Like I said, combined adaptive compute ambient occlusion.
Okay.
So yeah, it's even for us, it's going to be
That's a mouthful.
quite a little bit of a mouthful to talk about. So I'd rather just say Cacao.
Is that a cat on the bottom right? Open source
yeah,
MIT
it's like
license.
a cat with a octopus tentacle.
A cat with an octopus
Yeah.
tentacle. Okay.
Okay, so what does this do? So, if you're familiar with ambient occlusion, then you should already kind of know what this does, right? Because basically, the core value is going to be the interaction of ambient light and the environment and the scene, so the frame, how this interacts with everything around it. And with Cacao, you have a fast improvement on the realism of lighting and shadow. So the correlation between these two, how light and shadow behave. So if an object catches light, there's going to be shadow casted. So this is all part of the ambient occlusion. Now, the Cacao implementation, why this one stands out compared to the traditional ambient occlusion is going to be that it improves the visual quality and the realism without having, sacrificing like 3 to 5%, for example, performance. So your GPU will have more room to spend this on other rendering processes. So that's like the ideal power right here of the Cacao. Now, but in order to enjoy this, you do have to be able to use DirectX 12 with the Volcom technology. Yeah, so that's in short Cacao. And of course, all of this will also come with 6900 XT if you miss this. Now, if we, for example, take a look at how an image in an environment looks like with occlusion, well, with Cacao on, this is how it looks like, but you have to pay attention to the definition with, everything that can cast a shadow, because that makes the scene look more realistic. Now, this is with it on, and this is with it off. So you see there's like a very, very clear difference. For example, if you just take a look at this area with clear shadows being casted. Now with it off, this is what happens. So it really takes away a lot of the realism in the game. And many times, if you just play around with ambient occlusion in the game, this is also what you will see. It will take away the realism of how the lighting is behaving in the scene. Well, this also, if you think about ray tracing, yes, you're thinking correctly. They do have a very big correlation, because ray tracing is also kind of like the mastery of how light is behaving in the scene, right?
I see a question in Twitch chat. Cacao is like NVIDIA DLSS. No, it's not really like DLSS.
No.
DLSS like super sampling.
Yeah, so DLSS has really to do with resolution and definition, right? How sharp everything is in the pixels. This has really to do with the realism of, ambient lighting and how lighting is going to behave in the scene.
Yeah, DLSS
so like you
is more
see
of a performance feature, So to get a better frame rate at certain super sampling resolutions. And this is more of a eye candy feature, basically.
Yeah, and I'll also for demonstrate this later in the game to see how this one works. And the next one is going to be the contrast adaptive sharpening, so short CAS. Now, many of you might already know that in, I think already for quite a long time in the Radeon Adrenaline software, driver software, there is the option which is the RIS, which is the Radeon image sharpening. So basically this feature, if you turn this like on, the slider can go from 0 to 100 in the driver settings. If you click on specific game, you'll open the visual settings. You can use RS in there. Then if you put it like for example on max, you will really see like a big sharpening difference, well, sharpening improvement in the game. And if you don't like to have everything too much sharpened, because sometimes it can be a little bit artificial if it's like too much, you can scale it down a little bit, but that feature works really well. You might be thinking like, okay, this kind of sounds like what that one does. Well, yes, that's kind of true, because these two actually go hand in hand. And the, let's say the advantage of CAS is that it's integrated in the game. So it's not just the driver side of the story that can mimic the sharpening or like steer the sharpening. Really, now you have a better integration, because gaming developers have already put this feature into the development of the game. It's like part of the game, so you don't rely on the driver side of this option anymore, right? So this will ensure better implementation and improvement on the performance and the visual quality. So yeah.
FPS Nerd is asking, by the way, cacao or cocoa? It's cacao, because it's ambient occlusion at the end.
Yeah. So here, this one.
Yeah. So AO.
So yeah, try to repeat after me. Combined Adaptive Compute Ambient Occlusion. Cacao.
Okay, now we're going to repeat this 100 times so no one forgets after this.
Yes. Good luck. Okay. So what this feature does in detail is that it will intelligently look for areas that are like less sharpened, and then it will sharpen these kind of areas to have like a better overall balanced sharpened let's say environment. So it doesn't just like sharpen everything, the entire frame. No, it will look for the areas that's less sharpened, and in some cases where the areas that are like sharpened already, it can like, let's just say de-sharp it a little bit, so the overall balance will be enhanced. Now, this will actually, how this works actually, it reminds me a little bit of how our night vision works. So our night vision software is, with majority of our gaming monitors, they will come with this feature. So what night vision does is that it will look for dark areas inside the game, and then it will light up the dark areas better to show you more details,
to show you enemies in the dark, basically.
Yeah, so that's like the biggest, let's say, advantage. But sometimes if you're playing like games like Resident Evil, so maybe there are like items hidden in the dark areas, but because it's so dark, it's hard to see. Now what night vision does is that it will intelligently light up the dark areas only and not the light areas. So
are you going to switch night vision on, by the way, during the gameplay?
Well, actually, I don't have to, because there's another nice feature, within the 6900 XT, well, basically 6000 series already, that kind of like already helps this problem.
But you don't want to brighten it up in Resident Evil, right? You want to have it dark because it should be scary. Like if you brighten up the room, basically, then it takes away part of the immersion in Resident Evil, right?
Well, you have an excellent point there, Mike. But let's just put it out there, like for you guys that doesn't want to have a heart attack every 5 minutes, make the dark areas lighter, okay?
So basically you switch the light on in the game.
Yeah. Oh yeah, hi. Hello, Ironbox. Seems like you just joined.
Hello, Ironbox, welcome to the stream. By the way, don't confuse this CAS with the one for example, from your memory, your RAM, because there it is latency. So completely different from CAS on a graphics card and your RAM.
Yeah. Neros on Twitch is saying like extra contrast or lightens it up. No, you don't have extra contrast. Well, so of course, obviously, contrast plays a role in I know if a frame is like lightened or darkened, because the relationship between light and dark, of course, contrast plays a role in there. So it's not like extra contrast, it's like a better balanced contrast. And with that, it will lighten up the dark areas a little bit better, a little bit more realistically. So that's like how you should think of it. And while all this is happening, these kind of stuff are being sharpened intelligently. So not everything in the frame is sharpened, only the ones that need sharpening. Now, and this feature will determine which areas will need this and which areas doesn't need this.
So that you still have proper contrast while using the feature.
Yeah, but later I'll also demo this in the game. So yeah, that's in short, in detail what CAS is. So if you take a look at CAS that's being turned on, that's how this will look like. If you turn it off, this is like a regular frame of a game. I believe this was from Eve. Well, it's not that this one is blurry or dull or anything in that sense. It's just that this is just its native look and feel. But it can be sharpened for those that want to have extra definition, extra sharpness. So yeah, more pixels to stimulate the eye. Yeah, so basically that's what it does. So really what I said earlier, this will remind you guys of RS, so the Radeon image sharpening within the driver side.
I can demonstrate it with my camera as well. So this is basically CAS off and this is on. You see the difference?
Magic. Yeah. As for that, you guys don't have to worry about, okay, do I have to turn RS off in the driver in order to make use of CAS, or, okay, I'm not 100% sure about this part, but from what I understood is that CAS will automatically like override your RS settings. But you can just play around with it to see if it has impact or not when you have the image sharpening in the driver side turned on or not. So really, it's a small gesture. Now the last one in here is the FidelityFX variable rate sharpening or shading, so VRS. Now what this does is this is actually a little bit more complicated than the previous two features, but in essence, right in the right lower corner, what you see is that this feature will take a look at the frame, and this is what it sees. It will divide the frame into 3 categories, and this way it will know how it will process this frame when it comes to shading. So yeah, so the name already suggests, right? It's a variable rate shading. So the shading rate is now variable. It's not constant anymore. Now, in essence, what this does is that it has to do with resolution, and the resolution at which shaders are called, but this is different than the overall screen resolution. So it's independent from each other. So, and a higher rate of shading is going to be more visually impressive, higher fidelity. But this will also mean that it will cost you more GPU power, and yeah, vice versa. So if this is lower, you will have more GPU power free to do other rendering jobs. So what variable rate shading does is that it's going to take a look at the frame, and it will determine, okay, this part of the frame will have a different resolution than this part of the frame. So that's what it's actually looking at. So what I mentioned earlier was that the resolution is independent. So the rate of the shading, the resolution of this is independent from your overall screen resolution. So you can be playing at 1080p, 1440p, but the rate shading will have, the variable rate shading will have a different resolution in some spaces in your frame. And this will be automatically detected by this feature. So this will make sure that you have a better performance and still, having minimal visual impact. But from what I have found out, but this kind of depends on the game and how well this is implemented. Later in Resident Evil Village, I'll also show you the impact and the impact on performance, also the impact on the visual part of having VRS turned on and having VRS turned off. And then you can determine for yourself if you like to have it as on or not. And when we talk about the game itself, so Resident Evil has, historically been a very, very well optimized game. I always loved to play Resident Evil on like an entry-level card, because that's usually my area of GPU. Because like I said, I generally just play competitive titles, so for that you don't really need that much GPU prowess, right? Now, but I've always been able to play in between 60 and 100 FPS, whether it's like Resident Evil 2 remake, 3 remake, even 7. I was able to play like above 60 with my RX 580, with the visuals still being on a very, very capable and enjoyable level. So as you can see here, also Resident Evil Village, well, Full HD, where everything pretty much just maxed out. Now, of course, not ray traced, because you see that there are many titles in here that do not support ray tracing, software or hardware wise. So this is without ray tracing, okay, guys? Very, very well optimized, and for the 6900 XT that's being used right now, you can get up to almost 300 FPS. That's insane for a AAA title game.
You can see that Capcom and AMD really put a lot of effort in optimization. If you look at these overviews.
Yeah,
it's a lot of AMD on top.
I wish many other AAA title games would have been look like this, but unfortunately no. So yeah, really they have done an excellent job at this.
Also, RX 580, 84 FPS. It's pretty good, especially if you compare it to other cards that are generally faster, but because of optimization, it performs really well in this game.
Yeah, and some of you guys that are that are not familiar with the game might think, okay, then Resident Evil Village must be looking quite bad, quite badly. Let me assure you that is the furthest from the truth. But you'll see that in just a moment. So yeah, if you have like a 580, like Mike just mentioned, you have an excellent time at playing this game at 1080p with everything maxed out.
Mikhail is saying, interesting to see that the 6800 and 6800 XT have the same result. Yeah, the 6900 XT is also approximately at that result, and that's because this is 1080p, and there CPU. You will get a CPU bottleneck at a certain point. So there you see that all those cards basically get the maximum performance out of it, but the CPU is causing the bottleneck here.
The GPU being such a fat boy, the CPU is really being the bottleneck here. So once you scale up the resolution, the GPU will be put to work more, and the
so
CPU
then you will see a different story.
So let's say a bottleneck.
So here you do see a difference between the 6800 and 6800 XT.
Like even the 4040p, like there's still quite some CPU relevance. Once we go to 4K, this is going to be more significant. But yeah, even at 1440p maxed out, you will see just how well this game performs. I mean, if you still have like an old school card like well, I wouldn't say 1660 is old school, but it's quite like 2 generations.
No, that's still 1 generation. But the RX 580, RX 590, not bad. Those are 2 generations.
Yeah, let's just say an entry card like 1650 Super or X6060. 1440p. I mean, you're playing close to 60 FPS, and if you just tune around, play around with the settings a little bit, you can get well above 60 FPS. And that's on 1440p, everything maxed out. That's like crazy for a AAA title game. So yeah, I mean, I don't have to say much more about this. That should pretty much already tell the whole story. And yeah, if you're using a 6900 XT right here, you're gonna get like a 260 FPS.
Mikhail's asking what CPU was used then. I suppose Ryzen 9. I'm not sure. This is from Guru 3D. I can quickly check, of course. It's
going to be either I think 5900 or 5950 XT.
Let me quickly check.
And then if you go to 4K, so here, like we said, now you will really see more gap between the 6900 XT and 6800 XT. So with 6900 XT having 157 FPS and 145 for 6800 XT. So here you can see, so the higher you go in resolution, the less your CPU is going to be a bottleneck in case you have such a powerful GPU.
I just looked it up, by the way. It was tested on a Ryzen 9 5950X, so the same CPU we're using today.
But yeah, so 4K still, like with this setup, we're going to achieve about 157 FPS, and that is a amazing number to be looking at. when we're talking about 4K and a AAA
when looking
title
at this
game.
overview, at this resolution, my 1070 would struggle. That's like approximately 1660 Super, 1660 Ti kind of performance range.
Yeah.
But still, like on a from basically the 5700 XT 2070, there you get around 60 FPS. So that's
yeah, and
still very
remember, this
playable.
is like with all the settings maxed out, right?
Yeah.
And you don't have to do that, because if you just play around with some settings, you know, it wouldn't even impact the visual effects, because you wouldn't even notice it. But for the rendering process, it's going to be much less needy. So yeah, if you just tune the settings, you know, even with last gen, 2 gens ago, you can have a very comfortable 60 FPS plus experience with 4K resolution on a game that just came out this year, which is a AAA title game with an amazing visual representation. That is just a very well rounded off package. Yeah.
Forte E2 is saying same CPU. Coincidence? I think not. Well, it's basically the fastest CPU for gaming at this point, or at least one of the fastest. So, yeah.
You know, sometimes we also mention this in our live streams, right? Whenever we have like demos or testings or test benches, we always try to make sure that, you know, there's no bottleneck. So, you know, we try to put in the best CPU in there that we have right now. So
it also makes sense with the 6900 XT. It's such a high-end card. It makes sense to use a very high-end CPU with that as well. So the 5950X was
this,
the logical CPU.
This couple right here is a very, very representative power couple.
Yeah, it's it's
an
extremely
marriage.
Powerful system that we're running today. Yes.
Okay, so besides the resolution, we of course also want to know what about ray tracing, because there's also the ray tracing functionality here. Now, when we talk about ray trace performance, Resident Evil Village with everything else maxed out, if you take a look at the 6900 XT, you see that the darkest is going to be the lowest resolution. So I'm not sure if you can see it, but right here it says light blue is 4K, and then the middle one is going to be Quad HD, so 1440p, and the lower one is going to be Full HD. So ray traced on 150, so pretty much half the performance, because we were looking at 1080p about close to 300, so 286, and with ray trace turned on, we have been cut back to 150. I know it sounds like a lot, it is a lot, but still, this game is so damn well optimized. Like, even with ray tracing everything else to the max, you're still getting 150, even above 144 hertz refresh rate, which is like majority of the monitors out there. Anyways, they have like a capable refresh rate.
Lamonium is asking, why not 32 gigabytes of RAM? Well, for gaming usage in general, it doesn't make that much of a difference.
We're not really doing, you know, a lot of multitasking, you know, rendering.
Like for example, if you want to do
productivity work,
video editing, stuff like that, rendering there, it makes a huge difference if you have double the RAM. For gaming, not that much. And 16 for most games is plenty to get a good gaming experience. Most of the time, frequency is even a little bit more important in most situations.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, basically that's it for the information, and we can finally get into the game. Before that, you know, if you guys back Mike, he might give you another bundle of $60 US.
Oh, I think this is a good
So I'm
time
gonna get the game ready while
winner.
he draws the next winner.
So if you haven't participated yet, go to imsi.com/2/insider. If you're watching on Twitch or YouTube, the bot will also drop a direct link to the Gleam giveaway in the chat every 5 minutes, I believe. If you have already signed up for the giveaway, no need to do anything again. You will automatically be included in the next drawings as well. And our next winner for $60 US in Steam Wallet codes, so 3 codes for $20 US, is Brookie. Congratulations, you also won one of these bundles. Keep an eye out on your mailbox. Ja will email it to you in the coming days if he doesn't forget. Otherwise, I will smack him around and remind him. So congratulations, you also won $60 US in Steam Wallet credit. So if you have participated yet, make sure to do so, because we will definitely have more winners later in this stream. So let's get into the game.
We hope it's not going to crash because we did encounter some technical difficulties just before the live stream. So let's pray to the god
We
of
did
gaming.
swap out
Okay?
the power supply because someone dropped it in our office. I won't mention any names.
Yeah, we have some damaged components right here, which was due to somebody's incapability of behaving like a capable person of not dropping anything.
Sometimes it happens. If you work with hardware as much as we do, it just happens that once in a while you break something or you drop something. Or
Okay, so of course the first thing we have to do, per usual, when we start a game is go to the display settings. Now, if we go to the display settings, yeah, presets, I'm not going to bother with this because I have to change a lot of the settings in order to show you guys many different things. But basically, I already have everything maxed out with some AMD features turned on and off.
Mikhail is already referring to Linus.
To what?
Yeah, he's well known for dropping hardware as well.
It's okay, you can say that. I mean, it's not like Linus watches our live stream anyway, so nobody will get mad. It's okay. I think he doesn't.
I don't think he will get mad anyway.
Yeah, so another great feature of this game is that if you have a very capable HDR monitor, so with HDR 400, 600 or 1000, you can enjoy HDR because this game has like a native HDR integration. So for, let's see what else is, we have right now playing on 1440p. The refresh rate of the monitor is 165. Oh, if you click on it, it will change. So if you have like, well, this is going to be dependent on the monitor that you're using. So it would go to the max resolution, max refresh rate of your monitor. So if you have like 144, it will say 144 here. So don't be looking for 165 because that's, yeah, specifically tailored for the monitor. Frame rate, if you want to cap it, you can. You don't have to. You can cap it 30, 60, 120, or you can keep it a variable. This way you will always reach the max FPS possible. Vertical FSync, you know, turn it off. It's going to be a pain in your ass. Now, rendering mode, I have set this to normal. You can do interlace, but it's going to look a little bit weird, so just put it to normal. Image quality, so basically this one is going to be the resolution scaler, so the digital scaler. If you put this, like one is just 100%, it can go all the way up to 2, which means 200%. So basically, if you put it to 2, it will mean that you're playing at twice the resolution that you are, that you set the game up to. So if you want to have extra, even more details and definition, you know, you can tune this up to 150, even 2, if your GPU is able to handle that. But yeah, that will give you a more refined and more detailed frame. But it's not always going to be looking balanced. It can be a little bit artificial. So just leave it to 1, it's going to look perfect on a 1440p resolution anyways. Fidelity FX.
One of the features, guess.
Yeah, finally, the first one. So here we have Fidelity FX CAS. As you can see, nicely implemented, integrated in the game, and you only have on or off. So later, when we start a game, we can test this very easily. Anti-aliasing, you know, for this part, we prefer FX AA plus TAA because TAA itself, you know, me personally, it kind of turns me off a little bit because it's more blurry. This combination is for me the best one, and it doesn't really impact the performance. So yeah, you have to find out for yourself which one you like best. Okay, Fidelity CAS, it's on, so remember that. And the other one was the variable rate shading. This one right now is turned to off. Later I'll show you what it looks like when it's on and what the performance impact is. Texture quality, I set this to max. Filter quality also to max. Mesh quality also to max. Ray tracing right now it's off. When you turn this on, it will slap your FPS in half, but still worth it because it's going to be so much more better, but you'll see. And still, right now, we're achieving like above 200 FPS. So even with ray tracing on, I'm very comfortable.
But now you're still in the menu, that's cheating. Mikhail is asking, by the way, is MSI going to create more new case models? Yes, definitely. Cannot mention any details yet, but yeah, we're always working on new products, also cases.
So here right now, the ambient occlusion is here. This is where you will find Cacao. So it doesn't have like its own category.
What was the full name again of Cacao?
Combined adaptive ambient occlusion. I forgot it's in the middle.
That's how difficult it is. We should have repeated it.
I only forgot one letter. Screen space reflections. I have this on with more realistic reflections on the surface. Now, what you do have to know is that whenever you turn on ray tracing, you will. It freezes a little bit, but no worries there. So once you have ray tracing turned on, ambient occlusion is automatically turned off. So that is what I meant earlier, that ray tracing is like more like the master here when it comes to lighting behaviors and its environment. So ambient occlusion is like also part of ray tracing. Now, when you have ray tracing turned on, you do not have the options to choose ambient occlusion, let's say, priorities, because this is already implemented into ray tracing's own characteristics that's already pre-calculated and set. You do have the opportunity to play with GL and reflection and light reflections, the amount of details and the amount of, say, reflections and effects that you will get. Of course, the higher, the more impact it will have on your GPU and performance. Of course, having the 6900 XT, I have everything set to max at a very comfortable level. So lucky me. Now let me just turn this back off because later I'll show you how it looks like when it's turned on. As you can see, and poof, we have the option to choose between different ambient occlusions.
I see that Lucky Cesar already put it in chat. Combined adaptive computation ambient occlusion.
Yes. Now,
combined adaptive computation ambient
under
occlusion.
ambient occlusion, you will have SSAO, which is the screen space ambient occlusion. Also, you have the FidelityFX Cacao. Okay, so let me just turn this off for now and later show you the impact, blah, blah, the same old. Screen space on, of course. Volumetric lighting, very important for the overall look and feel. Set to high, but this also has a very high impact on your performance. So if you are like playing on a lower end GPU and you want to enjoy max resolution and great details and everything else, but you still want to have a great FPS performance. This is really one of the big components where you have to look at, where you have to play around with to set it to either low, off, or mid, high. Here is where you really see a big, well, I wouldn't say big, but relatively a great difference. Subsurface scattering, of course, on. Once again, making the scenes more realistic, more natural. Shadow quality, max, of course. What else? Contact shadow, all the shadow options here, and bloom, lens flare, film noise. Film noise turn off, but that's my personal preference. I find it a little bit annoying.
You don't want to be part of a horror movie?
Yeah. Depth of field, I love when a game has this option. I really enjoy this part. Really adds up to the realism, because that's also how the real work works. If you look at the camera, your hand is going to be all fuzzy, right? Vice versa. Oh, I went all the way back by accident. Where was I?
Miguel is saying that's a lot of VRAM needed. Yeah, definitely. If you switch so many things on or maximum, and then at 1440p, you do need a lot of VRAM.
But even now, because the 6900 XT has like 16 gigabyte of VRAM, yeah, we're like still ways ahead of feeling that.
It's still safe.
Okay, so that's basically for now the settings. Let me go back to the game and scare the shit out of your poopers. So tell me, guys, who else out there is a great Resident Evil fan? You know, I remember back in the days when I was like 12 and the first like 2 Resident Evil games came out. I used to be scared to play it myself, but I would go to game cafes and I will watch other bigger kids play, and I would just sit behind them and watch them play. Like back then, I should have already known that this was going to be a big market, if you know what I mean. Watch other people play, right? You know, but I didn't. But I didn't do anything with it. And yeah, so if you have played the classic Resident Evil games back in the days, you will notice that this kind of really resembles Resident Evil 4 with this villagery look and feel, and yeah, the overall Resident Evil storyline and the puzzle solving, and especially the map. Because if you have played Resident Evil, you will know that wherever you are, there are going to be multiple entries and exits. And you can bet that 90% of them are locked. And you will have to walk around the map, look for clues, look for keys, look for a chainsaw, whatever, to unlock the doors, and you know, from the other side to cut open some chains. This is still, yeah, the bread and butter of Resident Evil, how this game operates right now. Still the same in Resident Evil 8, but the biggest difference, of course, being a first-person game compared to the old ones. And of course, they started this with Resident Evil 7 already. But compared to Resident Evil 7, Resident Evil 8 really underwent a big improvement visually. One of the biggest improvement is that in this game, if you get to an object very, very close, like really bumping into it, like here, first, like the wall, you see that the amount of details on the surface of a certain object is still very, very well established, balanced, and realistic. And this was a big issue in Resident Evil 7 because objects seemed, many of the time, they always seemed blown up, like very, let's say, almost pixelated. So it's not sharp. Now this, they have really changed in Resident Evil 8, and yeah, you really notice the difference if you have played Resident Evil 7 at least.
Forza E2 is asking, is that rainwater or blood?
So right now, as you guys see, I'm playing at 280 FPS, 250, 40. If I go outside, of course, there's more to render. It's going to be harder on the GPU. I'm playing now at 220.
Still fairly decent FPS.
I'm playing at 4040p maxed out, guys. That's crazy for a AAA title game. And if you just look at the environment of this game, it's magnificent. Look at the details, the space division of how everything still works together, but you get the sense of how the world is, how big the world is. And yeah, just really look at the mountain. Amazing. But once you get into the castle, that's kind of where the game really unfolds. Now, if I get in here, my FPS even, you know, turns up higher. I'm rocking 280 FPS right now. That's crazy.
So how is it possible that no one tried to stab you yet, or
because right now this is like the silence before the storm, right? That's what Resident Evil is really good at. Majority of the usually you walk around, there's no pressure, there's no scary things, no nothing, and then out of nowhere they get you, usually in your bag. But okay, so this area is already a great example of like, for example, displaying the prowess of ray tracing. So let me go to ray tracing and get this on. CAS is on. Ray tracing on. Look at this. This area is so much better lit up, so much more realistic, and the reflections, of course, in the puddles of water, and the overall softness of the shadow, the blooming effect, like everything.
You were correct, by the way. The FPS is half, approximately.
Yeah, But now you're really playing at the max realism. So,
and it's still
Look at this.
140. It's very playable. Repo Man says, "Here lies Ja, killed by a heart attack brought by Resident Evil."
that may very well be the news tomorrow. So yeah, watch the news. Now let me show you, for example, this area. If you turn ray tracing off, for example, let me go to turn it off right now.
So we were at 140 FPS.
Yeah, about 140, 150-ish. And do you guys see anything in here? Not much.
No, for me it's
Water
black.
is dull. You know, the shadow is very hard, very harsh.
Theon's asking what card are you using? The 6900 XT from AMD.
Now look at this area again, but then with ray tracing on. So, like I said before, right, ray tracing really is like the master of how to make use of lighting. So that also includes ambient lighting. So ambient occlusion is also a big part of ray tracing. That's why you cannot change the
Both
option.
Forza and
where
Peter
they
are
go.
saying don't
Oh, yeah.
waste your bullets because you will need them.
I know. I am a diehard Resident Evil 7 Resident Evil fan. Of course, I'll be needing them. Right now, I'm just displaying this for you guys, and I'll reload this scene anyway. So now look at this area. There's so much more clarity and details. And look at the shadow. It's much more softer and not as harsh, because you know the light source is not that bright anyway. So the harsh and dark shadows created, they were not realistic. And the puddles of water, you know, they become reflective. Yeah, that's, you know, there's of course more areas to show you guys this, but yeah, for now, let's just continue. So remember, ray tracing is on right now. Well, look like we have Magneto right here.
You must be pretty tough. Huh. Who the fuck are you?
Oh, the F word. You didn't hear anything, guys.
You're not local.
If you're under, what is it? 15, cover your ears.
Like, I can't even do anything.
Mother Miranda's gonna love you.
Pretty much I just got stabbed in my stomach, which seemed pretty vital.
So that was the gameplay for today. Goodbye, guys. Just kidding.
Alright, I'm all chained up. Yeah, this is like another thing of Resident Evil. They love cutscenes. But at least they gave you the option to skip it. So drop it in the chat, guys. Do you prefer me to like skip all the cutscenes? Because I'm pretty sure there are more to come. Or do you want me to, you know, stick to the story because you want to see more of what's going on? That is creepy. I did not wish to see that.
My daughters and I shall deliver to you.
Capcom developers be like, how ugly do you want this thing to be? Yes.
Shut the fuck up!
Lucky Cesar is saying no, please watch cutscenes.
You mean
Look at the beautiful lighting
Where's the fun in
coming down from all the way up there
And I'll put on a show.
and lighting up.
So
What do you say, Mike?
what do we care for
People in
bread
chat
and
want to see the
services?
cutscenes.
The man
Most of them,
thinks
so far.
suffering is
All right,
Yak,
it's democracy,
yak, the
so
man's
we'll
biggest
see
cut
what
off
gets
in
the
the
most
castle,
votes.
blah, blah.
I've heard all your arguments. Some of
Yeah,
you
Big
most
Heidi is
people want
saying
to.
the Magneto guy is awesome. I love this
I've
character.
made my decision.
Yeah, I like his ability already,
The man's fate is
and
in
it's,
your
he seems pretty badass.
Mother Miranda,
I'm pretty
I
sure he's
must
gonna kick my ass many times.
is right.
Ooh, there you have it.
Devotion to you is questionable.
She is here.
Mortal to me, and I will ensure he is ready.
Shut your damn hole! And don't be a sore loser! Go find your food somewhere else.
Quiet now.
By the way, did
child.
you switch our Twitch channel to 18 plus?
I'm the child. You're the one who's arguing Miranda's
You
decision.
wouldn't
Nope.
know responsibility if it was well
Oh, keep growing! One day your head will actually fit your ego!
I'm pretty sure you guys all are aware, right, of Mother...
My
What's her name
decision is
again? The
final.
giant lady, I forgot her name. But yeah,
Well, it's not Mother Teresa, that's for sure.
many people suggested that you can very well hide under her skirt, her dress, because she's so tall.
And gentlemen,
I can see why
we
now.
thank you for
She
winning.
is
And now let the games
amazingly
begin.
tall. All right, seems like it's time for action.
Get ready.
Rip.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,
3,
3,
2,
2,
1.
1. Showtime!
Alrighty. Time to run for my life.
Jesus Christ!
That's right.
Look at how beautiful this game is made.
Someone's
And
asking,
how
is this at
damn
4K?
well
It's
these-
1440.
not that way.
It's not at 4K. 1440.
My beautiful 6900 XT Gaming X Trials is
nice.
keeping up with this game with ray tracing happening in real time. And I'm still rocking 100 and 140-ish FPS. I hate it when I can't do anything about this in the cutscene. I mean, I could have touched it. Oof. I'm having a rough time.
It's a cool slide though.
Alright, let's go.
You're still alive? Impressive.
Ooh, very spiky.
Merrick is making a fair point. The zombies are starting to look more like trolls and goblins. That's
Wait,
definitely.
what am I supposed to do?
I'm not sure if you want to go there.
There's I see. That's also Resident Evil, you know. They like to play a puzzle game.
Basically, Blue is asking, hey guys, do you see chat? Yes. We can.
Look at this beautiful lighting.
You truly are as strong as they say.
Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to see your message.
I didn't realize the spiky ceiling reached all the way
You
here.
already died.
That makes no sense.
Jesus Christ!
Joyce was crying.
That's right. Run for your life.
All right,
Very nice, Ethan.
we can skip this now. We just saw it. Skip. All right. Oh, now I see. They're everywhere.
My word.
So they drop
You are
down,
as
or
strong
what
as they say.
happens with them?
Yeah, they
Like randomly,
lower
or
all the
if you
time.
do something?
You think I'd let you get away?
How do you trigger those spikes?
Gotta keep Donna in a row.
Why can't I break it?
So now it's time for the beautiful, blood-soaked.
Okay, that was
Am I
bloody.
playing Saw or am I playing Resident Evil? Okay, guys, I'm gonna get serious. Okay, I got distracted by the box, which I was supposed to be able to break.
So I was
but
asking, why not jump it to 4K? This is the 6900 XT, right? Well, this is a 1440p monitor.
That's right. Run
you know,
for your
we
life.
want to make it still a little bit more realistic because
Also,
you know,
yeah, if you
many of
4K
the guys-
and ray tracing is even with the 6900 XT is a challenge. If you want to max everything out, it's not impossible, but well, if you want to play fully ray trace, then I would personally suggest sticking to 1440p at this point, because the performance impact of ray tracing is significant.
My word. You truly are as strong as they say. Oh, you didn't think I'd let you get away, did you? Gotta keep Donna and Moreau entertained.
Peter says, you removed one side of the headphones. I'm sure it's
For the
creepy.
beautiful,
That's probably so he can understand me as well, if I'm reading out chat questions and stuff.
Nothing like fresh American ground beef.
I did it.
Oh,
My hands are free.
good job, good job.
Can I break the boxes now? Oh wait, of course they're
Those
already
freaks
broken.
have rows?
Yay. And of course, you know, this is the kind of game where you have to gather all your materials, but you never like to spend them. So usually people finish Resident Evil games with like tons of stuff in their inventory because they've been so scared to use them. Like ammunition and, oh, there's more spikes and all that good stuff. But that's the game. Oh yeah, in the beginning some zombie bit off my finger, half of my palm, so that's why it looks like this.
Unlucky.
You unlocked it. Wow, thanks for telling. Even now I'm back here. Will he come again? No, he won't.
Basically, Blue is asking how much RAM do you use?
How much what?
RAM.
16. Okay, so I guess there's no time pressure right now. Let me show you another difference in the feature. Now, fidelity cast. So this is the sharpening part. Now let me turn this off. So now I'm sitting about 123, so it's not really impacting the game that much. But you really got to look for the differences because, like I explained to you guys, cast, you know, it doesn't sharpen the entire image. It looks for areas that's not sharp and then sharpens that area. But as you can see, there is basically no performance impact, so you might as well just make use of it to have a better and a balanced display of sharpness overall in every frame. Because I actually have to look for, you know, what part actually got sharpened. So yeah, still sitting at approximately the same FPS, so you know, I just recommend you to just leave this on.
Mikhail is saying the worst thing is that you cannot super glue, like in Resident Evil 7, to glue those fingers back because we don't have fingers. Was that a thing in Resident Evil 7?
Yeah.
To glue your fingers back on?
Yeah, they really thought of like some weird but still great features that you don't generally see happening in video games. Ooh, this is a heavy scene to render. Okay, what about, let me see, did I show everything already? Display on screen resolution, oh yeah, there's still the variable shading. So right now it's off, we are sitting about 110 FPS, but if I turn this on, so this can be balanced or this can be you know, performance prioritized. And of course you can already guess this mode would mean there's less visual, let's say, enhancement. So visually this will look less impressive because performance is prioritized. So let's first leave this at balance and see what's the difference and also the impact on FPS. So if you remember VRS, this will make sure that the shading rate becomes variable. So the resolution of different kind of areas becomes independent. So it's not the same as your overall frame resolution at 1080p or 1440p right now. So different areas can have its own resolution, which will make different kind of areas, depending on what frame, look different and render differently resolution-wise than when this is off. What this means is that some areas might be you know, less detailed because the feature will render this part, like for example the tree could be less detailed because the feature deems that this part is not necessary to be rendered at a native resolution. So the shading will become different. Now this, so it gave me about 10 FPS bump. That's, you know, I'll take that. That's 10 FPS on 100 FPS. That's like 10% gain. And I don't really see, well, if you truly look at some areas, for example, the stones, you will see that it's like a little pixelated. It's like less rendered. So you can see like this zone right here, right? If you take a look at here, I'm not sure if you guys can see it well because I have a big screen, right? So maybe on a smaller screen you don't really see the difference. So you have to try this on for yourself or look at this later on a bigger screen. But some areas will have less, say, resolution or less definition and sharpness, and that's what the FRS does. Now, if you put this to, say, performance mode, you'll see the difference much more.
So a question in chat from Gux TV.
That also means you're
RTX
gaining more FPS.
Is the RTX 3060 Ti Aero ITX just a myth, or just available through MSI Trident 3? It's not a myth, but as you have probably noticed, a lot of 30 series and 6000 series graphics cards almost look like a myth nowadays. There is obviously shortage, so they might be hard to obtain, especially the more special models, in the sense that Aero ITX was also launched later than the other models, so you won't see it at as many points in the market as, for example, the Gaming X3 or the Ventus that have been on the market for a longer time. So no, they definitely do exist, but yes, like other 30 series and 6000 series cards, they can be very difficult to find these days.
So yeah, when you turn this to performance mode, it becomes more significant that you know, some areas in the game are being rendered at a different resolution or like different shading rate, and that really becomes visible because it's visually less impressive now. So me, basically, personally, I would prefer to have FRS turned off. But you know, you can opt for balanced, but so that's really up to you. Where did it go? Here. Okay, what else do we have? We already had CAS. We did variable rate, also ray tracing. Ray tracing is on right now, so we can't choose cacao like I said earlier. So let's go to ray tracing off. And then test cacao. Right now it's off, so no ambient occlusion.
What was the full name again, yeah? Cacao.
Combined Adaptive Compute Occlude. Hey, no.
Ambient occlusion.
Ambient occlusion, yes. So right now I have this turned off. No.
Michael is asking, should we ask first, but what kind of questions can we ask and get an answer? We always try to answer as many as possible, which usually we try to, because it's impossible to answer everything. Bless you, by the way. It's impossible to answer everything, so we usually choose the questions that are most relevant to everyone. Like, for example, when people ask, I have this problem, a very specific individual situation.
It's cold.
We might skip those questions and
but I'm
answer
healthy,
the
guys,
more.
don't worry.
Yeah, the questions that are more interesting for everyone to hear the answer to. Flava is asking, ray tracing is off. I think right now it's.
Yeah, right now it's off.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to show, like for example, the difference. If you just take a look at here, if you take a look at the ambient lighting and shadows and stuff, try to remember this because right now we have cacao turned on.
Veritable Hero is saying, don't sneeze into mic. Don't worry, we're around the corner. We're not sitting next to each other. So.
Yeah, he's like 5 meters away from me.
Yeah, 5 meters away. I should be safe right here. Additionally, I've had COVID, so I should be okay-ish.
And now it's off.
I'm not sure. I don't think it's impossible to get it again, but chances should be much smaller for me to get COVID. Ja just blasted our ears, people are saying. Yeah, Ja, next time unplug your microphone before you sneeze.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Do you guys mind?
You see the definition around the shadow areas, for example, here.
Wild Human is asking AMD or Nvidia. This is a Radeon RX 6900 XT, so AMD.
But of course, if you want the best experience, just turn on Raytracing, because that really masters the ambient lighting and much more.
Depends what you define as being the best experience. Like in terms of eye candy, yes.
Yes, visually.
But for
and
me,
of course, if
for
you
me
have,
the best experience is crazy high FPS.
and of course, if you have the technology available to you, so you have a 6000 card with RDNA2.
Yeah, with this card, it's very doable. That's true. George William is saying, sneeze ASMR stream. Well, we're not planning on doing one. I'm not sure if people are too much into a sneezing ASMR stream.
You know my name.
I thought the 6090 XT was thick, but
A hero searching for his
that's
daughter.
thick.
He had a few hamburgers.
Very
That
thick.
castle arouses suspicion.
What are you supposed to be, the merchant?
And so do you.
Because you know, remember back in days when Resident Evil 4, I believe also 5, but I forgot about 5. You used to be able to buy stuff, right, at merchants that like randomly placed.
Healing salves, anything you desire.
Oh,
I can provide.
I see. It is the merchant. It's a shop. Nice.
Ah, yes, yes.
Do I need supplies? Not really. I
I've
don't
procured some new
need.
items for you, Mr. Winters.
I think I do need, but I don't have enough money. 6,000? Really? 3,000? Wow, I only have 1240. So basically I'm poor AF. Crystal Skull, some first aid ammo. Oh, I can even buy a brand new shotgun here. Really?
Well, you need
A new
10
pistol?
times as much money for that, for the shotgun.
That's also nice because you have your own inventory, right? So you have a limited amount of space where you can store your items. And some items take more, let me just show you.
I'm skilled at all sorts of what. Have a wonderful adventure.
Here. So here, this is your, let's say your
Chat is
suitcase.
mentioning that it feels a bit like shopping for a GPU right now.
I wouldn't be surprised if that guy was suddenly offering like 6,000 series. But
Forza also asked, does he have GPUs to buy?
But yeah, so this is your suitcase, and you know, some items they take up more space than others. So the shotgun, you know, it takes up like 10 spaces. Now, if you run out of space, because later the more you progress in the game, the more items you'll come and encounter and will obviously want to have. You'll basically become a hoarder. So yeah. So yeah, if you want to have more space, go to the shop. And you can buy extra space, which is very expensive. Yeah, a lot of stuff to buy, but nothing that I can buy that's useful. So more luck next time. Did it just speak French to me? Let's go.
Pian is saying this game looks a bit too cinematic and no gameplay. Yeah, it is kind of a story-based game, so that, yeah, it makes sense. Oh, he says in comparison with all the Resident Evil games. Yeah, do you think so too, Jan? Because you've played more Resident Evil games.
What?
Does this version of Resident Evil feel more cinematic and less gameplay than previous ones?
I know what he means, but I wouldn't say it's less gameplay. It's definitely more cinematic, but that's like the overall look and feel of the game. But that's really, you know, the great partnership that they had with AMD by implementing so many new features. Also, of course, having ray tracing, that's just, you know, that really enhances the game so much more. And they have really, visually the development team really did a great job.
Like I think PL means like maybe like more cutscenes, more
Resident Evil.
more visual stuff than actually shooting zombies maybe.
No, that's the thing. The pace in this game is really just Resident Evil. So sometimes you have areas that you have to explore and find stuff, and there you encounter actions. It's not like a non-stop action. So yeah, you notice already big difference because the floor, it's supposed to be reflective, but we're now with RT turned off, you'll notice that everything kind of falls flat. Now, it doesn't just affect the lighting, but also the overall, let's say, look and feel and combination of the colors.
By the way, do you have VSync on?
I think it's on, yes.
The frame rate is super steady, 165. You might want to switch that off.
No, I think it didn't cap it right. It was set to variable.
Looks like VSync.
Yeah, it's variable. Frame rate.
But the
oh,
VSync
166.
Is there?
166. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but is there a separate VSync option? It looks too steady.
Wait.
I think there is a separate VSync option that might be switched on.
Yeah, but I didn't change that, right? Because before I also was getting 280 and 200 and stuff.
Yeah, can you go back into the settings?
Oh,
there we go.
When did this get turned on?
I don't know, but it was too steady at 165. Couldn't believe it. Much
there you
better.
go, Mike
this
the
is a decent
WizKid.
frame rate.
Now, take a look again to how the floor behaves and the overall lighting conditions. Now let's see what 6900 XT will do when ray tracing is turned on. Look at this. Me likey. And like I said, 90% of the doors when you enter a new area will be locked somehow.
Can't you just kick it open or something?
Yeah, I wish.
Or shoot the lock with you have a shotgun or something, right? That was not necessary.
I remember back in the days when they used to have like.
Do you see the chairs, by the way? You
scare
can cut them
tactics.
open with your knife. You have experience with that, right?
Yes. Yes. And also, look at my shadow. I can also see my own feet. Oh, 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 you see it? Now let's do this shenanigan again. Ooh, I hear some squeaking. Who just screamed?
Action Brother is saying, do you get screen tearing when the FPS is higher than the refresh rate, even with variable refresh rate turned on? Well, at certain refresh rates, tearing will not be as bad anyway, because there will be very small tears because the frames follow each other up very fast. I'm not sure actually if it automatically switches it off above the maximum refresh rate of your monitor. But yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about it because at that kind of FPS, you will barely see the tearing. Tearing is mostly annoying when you're at a lower FPS, so there is a bigger difference in the frames in between them. So for example, if you have a low FPS and then you get tearing, you will see the very big tear. So I wouldn't worry about tearing at all actually at these kind of frame rates.
Ow!
Man blood.
Ow! Why are they all so violent?
Yeah, it's kind of aggressive.
Mother, I bring you fresh prey.
You are so kind to me, daughters.
FPS nerd saying, holy moly, a human eye can see
Now,
over 30 FPS?
let's
yes,
take a look
for
at
sure.
Wow. Well, Ethan.
Try setting your monitor to 30
You
hertz.
escaped my little brother's idiot games, did you?
You will be
Let's
annoyed
see
within a
how
minute.
special you.
It's pretty interesting. The mother's movement, they have actually, while creating the game, they have mimicked this from a real person by having her doing her movements and then implementing this into the game. So that's why, you know, her overall movement seems so
Starting to go
humanly
loose.
natural.
Let's devour his man flesh quickly, Mother.
She
I
just
am
sucked
the
my
one who
blood.
captured him.
Yeah, it was an interesting scene.
First, I must inform you.
I didn't know we were.
She is enjoying it like I usually enjoy my craft beer.
There will
When
be
did we get
enough
to Twilight?
for everyone. Put him up.
How much pain do I have to endure?
Oh, be careful what you wish for, Ethan Winters.
Silk Monkey is saying the human eye can only see 24 FPS. 30 FPS is wasteful. Yeah, I think we should all limit our games to 24 FPS to save power.
Okay, great. Now what?
Avilash is saying too hot temp. No, this is not an issue at all. Not even remotely close to an issue. Even though it's very high in hardware, Ryzen 9 5950X and 6900 XT, this is still well within limits. No worries at all.
Yeah, I'm not having a good day.
It doesn't look very comfortable indeed.
Oh, I still have my guns. How nice
Maybe
of
in
them.
chat we have some people that remember our old motherboards, like old like P35. It's like 10, 15 years ago probably. We had like these looping kind of Northbridge heat sinks made from copper, and they were super sharp as well. So my hands usually look like that after building a PC with one of those. What resolution is used? This is 1440p. So 2560 times 1440.
Okay, just double checking. Everything is on. Okay, now let's get out of this creepy place.
Looks kind of fancy though.
Of course, it's locked again.
Just shoot the door. Can't you go through it?
It's a strong door.
That's a strong door indeed.
So it's puzzle time, I guess.
So it's not like Counter-Strike. There you can shoot through doors, right?
Yeah. Okay, nothing to see here. Maidens of Harvest. Guess those bitches just
Dark
attack
Emperor
me.
is asking, how will the FPS be on a GT 710? Don't even try. It's not going to be a good experience.
Oh boy, I think I'm stuck. I hope it's not that... Ah, come on, I need to find something. I knew it. My frustration. Oh, there's nothing to find here. Let me out!
Hey Ja,
Yes?
while you continue with the game, I think it's time for another giveaway winner.
Oh yeah, you go for it.
So if you haven't participated yet, go to msi.com/2/insider. If you're watching on YouTube or Twitch, the bot will also
Guys,
automatically
help me
put a
out.
direct link to Gleam
How the
in
hell
chat.
am I gonna get out of here?
And Ja is stuck. If you already participated, no need to do anything again. You will automatically be included in the coming drawings as well. And our next winner for today for another $60 in Steam Wallet code credit is Raytracing. Congratulations! You also won $60 Steam Wallet credit. So you could, for example, get Resident Evil Village, or if you're scared of this game, which I would understand, then you can also get another nice game for it, of course. Congratulations! Keep an eye out on your mailbox, so Ja will email it to you in the coming days.
Congrats! I am very frustrated. Let me out! Oh, I think I have to go here then. Ah, finally! Freaking hate this part of the game.
Being stuck.
You know, there's a lot of pressure when people are watching you do something and you're like clearly not being very smart.
Then you're failing big time. In front of everyone. Were those rats?
Yup.
Nice. Like pet rats can be really cute though. I just heard they don't go well with cats usually, so not a good idea for me to have one.
Which door?
Not sure.
Where have they taken Rose?
Okay, now I've unlocked this part.
America's asking, any insider on what MSI is launching on the 17th of May? Is something from MSI launching on the 17th of May?
This is a great place to display the prowess of Raytracing. Just
Amd
look
is
at all the
asking
real-time reflections.
See
that's
what specs is
making-
he using and what resolution he's playing at. This is it. Let me put the specs on the bottom. 5950X, 16-core processor, 16 gigs of RAM. It's a B550 Unify motherboard and using a Radeon RX 6900 XT graphics card. So really, really high end.
You see, guys, everything is gone, and the floor almost looked like matte.
Sticky UK 69 saying use a
look at the
knife to
harsh
break
shadows.
stuff, not bullets. You need to be more efficient with your ammo, Ja. You've played too
It's
much
okay.
Counter-Strike.
Normally I'll recommend the same, but since I'm only making headshots, I don't need that much of that many bullets. It's okay. Oh, I passed it. Now look at this. Let me look at the realistic shadows. Awesome. All right,
The reflections are pretty cool.
let's go. Oh wait, did I explore this area? I did not. Why is everybody so huge?
Luke?
Isn't that the same guy?
Here.
Well, he just
He
said.
looks an awful lot like him.
Yeah, he just said we just meet again.
And have you found your daughter? No.
Okay, need to make some progress. Creepy. Oh, I can use it.
Sticky UK saying, meh, aim assist. Are you using aim assist?
I'm not sure. Let me check. I didn't change any
Aim
settings.
assist is cheating. Switch
Oh.
it off now. That's why
In my,
he's only
in my
making
defense, I
headshots.
didn't check the settings
That
for aim
explains
assist.
DJ SRH is asking, can you play Call of Duty? Yes, we can, but not today.
I'm actually gonna play it tonight after I go home, probably with some of my stupid friends.
Which one? Which Call of Duty? Warzone?
Warzone, yeah.
So you'll be in the gulag the whole evening.
Pretty much. That's all we do. Wait, what?
Do you watch Game of Thrones, Jack?
I did.
Does the merchant look like Hodor?
Ah, I see where it's coming from. I see. I know I'm not supposed to shoot it. I can just slice it, but I'm too lazy to take out my knife.
Yeah, I know, Merrick, about MSIology. But I cannot tell you anything more than make sure to watch it.
Make sure
That's
to break
vandalism.
everything.
You're just breaking everything.
That's what you're supposed to do.
But is there sometimes like stuff in there?
Yeah.
Oh.
Usually. Oh, there's the stairs.
Dark Emperor saying, not even gulag, spectating.
Where the hell am I?
Ivo Raduha is asking, what games do you play? Like in the live stream, it differs
Oh,
very
this is the
much, all
start.
kinds of games. At home, I personally mostly play Rocket League, sometimes NO 1800. I like the old arena shooters like Unreal Tournament and Quake. Jai is a Counter-Strike guy and Call of Duty Warzone. Do you still play Fortnite sometimes, Jai?
Nope.
Not anymore? Okay.
Haven't touched that for a long time. What the? I was just here.
Yeah, you escaped through
I'm
Chimera.
lost! Yes, Repo Man, that's that's true actually.
Moonstain is asking, do you play Quake Champions? Not really. I've tried it, but I don't really like the Champions part of Quake Champions. It doesn't feel like the pure Quake experience to me. So when I play, I mostly play Quake Live, basically the remake of Quake 3 Arena. That's my favorite Quake to play. Valorant? I personally don't play Valorant. Do you, Ja?
Sometimes for work.
Yeah, we played it a couple of times on stream. But at home? No, I don't play Valorant.
What is this sound that I keep hearing?
Ooh, Forza is scaring you. He said, I think there was someone on the right.
I'm supposed to do something upstairs, I think, but I already scouted the entire area. The wine room. Did I miss something in the wine room?
Bottle of wine, probably. Is there a beer room as well?
I can't use it here. So I think I'm supposed to place a wine bottle here, then something is gonna happen. Maybe this will turn
There are
into
bottles
a door.
behind you, right? On the table?
Yeah, but they're not that easy usually to find.
That's a pity. Devery is asking, is giveaway available in Italy too? No, unfortunately Italy has some local law that doesn't allow us to run the giveaway there.
Yeah, fortunately, not really something that we can
So no,
change.
unfortunately not. Some regions have to be excluded because of laws, basically. We need to stick to them.
But this door is still locked. Look at this. I can kick the pieces, apparently.
Hussein has got the solution for you, I think. Take the eye out from the ring and then go upstairs.
What?
Take the eye out from the ring and then go upstairs.
Oh, I can take this out?
Hey, there you go.
Well, well, well. I'll be damned.
You're
Okay.
being carried by chat.
Thank you. Somebody's being useful. Stop enjoying my misery.
Actually, we all knew this, but we just enjoyed seeing you struggle. No, just kidding. I had no idea.
Whoop whoop.
And there you go. That worked.
Enough cutscenes.
Good point, Hussein. That worked.
Let me string you up, slice your jugular, and just walk.
Wait.
Val is saying on Twitch chat, this is
the hell am I
backseat and
supposed to kill
spoiler,
it?
not good. That's why I don't say. It's okay. If Jai's struggling for half an hour at a certain spot, then backseat gaming is okay here. Don't worry about it.
Wait.
He needs the help.
Wait, what?
I won't last until dinner.
I also needed the help when I was playing Shadow of the Tomb Raider during our live stream. I think on Twitch we can have the tag like backseat gaming and live. Maybe we should use that.
How's it feel?
How does it feel? It makes me very aggressive.
Just like that.
Okay. Get the F out of here. Ah, not her again.
She's coming back all the time. Will she drink
Hey,
from your
come
hand
back.
again? Maybe she's got the bottle that you need.
What can I find here? Nothing.
Sticky UK 69 saying no headshots, now you turn off aim assist. Fair point. No, he does need his ammo.
I'm just gonna pretend I didn't hear that.
We're back to spray and pray.
Ooh, interesting.
This is a cool room though.
Trust in light. Okay.
So you need to do something with it, I think. That worked.
I'm a genius.
Like Einstein 2.0.
This is some ESMC square stuff. I don't like where this is going. How much torture do you want? Yes. Wait, why does this look like this? Is this meant for a pig?
I think so.
Can I take any of this? No, I can't. Of course I can't.
What's in there? What's on the plate?
Some sick stuff. No, nothing for me? Okay. God damn it!
Wasting bullets. You need them with aim assist off.
Why are they moving?
Can't you just take your knife and take them off? Maybe
Headbutt!
there's stuff inside that you need.
Headbutt! Nothing.
Devery is asking, which microphone are you using? Well, actually, last week we did basically like a behind-the-scenes live stream, and there we explained everything about the kind of lights we use, about the kind of microphones, the capture cards that we build in our new streaming PC. So make sure to check it out. If you go to YouTube, then there you can still see last week's live stream, and there we showed in full detail what we're using for our live stream. They just want to be friends. That was not a headshot.
Only headshots. Let's go. Oh, he's still not dead?
You may want to switch that aim assist back on.
I'm gonna switch you off. Pipe bomb, alright. Hey, where you come from?
Well, from the hole in the wall. Now you got some more money to spend at the merchant.
Jesus, die. Ingrid's necklace. Whoa, that's a big weapon right there. Let me out.
Can you grab that weapon when you kill him?
I wish. Okay. Where are you? Get up. One shot, two kill. Nice. Still getting up. Not gonna waste my bullets.
Gatarzisk is asking which graphics card is being used. 38 or 3090. We're not using an NVIDIA card right now. We're using the AMD Radeon RX 6900 XT. So the top model from AMD.
We're still not done? Oh my god, okay.
Oh, the Forge 100R, good choice, Dark Temple.
Alright, last one, okay.
It's a nice case. Yeah, he's done.
Creepy stuff here.
I can't believe Cassandra caused all this mess.
Ah, not you again. Come on. Oh, I'm out of bullets.
They warned you in chat. Don't waste bullets.
I only have a pair of eyes that can watch one thing at a time. At this point, I don't even think I can hit her. I think I'm just supposed to run away from her.
Can you just attack her with your knife?
Nah, I can't hit her.
A healthy man's blood.
Then
Well,
you better run.
Screw this shit. I'm out of here.
I thought you were running, now you're picking up stuff.
Multitasking, man. Multitasking. Let me
They
out.
always do that
Let me out.
when someone's trying to kill you.
Where are you going?
Just pick up stuff.
I'm going away from you, psycho.
Bullets cannot harm.
See? Bullets cannot harm her. I was right. But she's afraid of air.
You stupid man thing!
She's not done with you yet.
Did she just call me stupid man thing? Oh, I think now I can hurt her. Yep.
What? My body!
Yes, her body!
Breaking!
Yes, it's breaking! Let me reload my shotgun. You're gonna get it. Now you're gonna
Tear your teeth
get it. You're gonna get it. You're gonna get it. Oh, she is tough.
Yeah, it takes quite a lot of effort.
Holy
One
crap.
headshot is not enough for her.
I'm gonna get wrecked.
You might want to run
Slice
again.
your throat, stuff it with worms.
Yay! Finally.
Lucky Cesar saying, this is what happens when my boss receives the weekly report.
I see, so she's afraid of the cold. Aha, that's their weakness. Good to know. Oh, delicious sausage. Oh, no, more. More sausage. Ah, there's the bottle.
Katas is asking, will the P100X 11th with 3080 be able to run this game without any issues? Yes.
100%.
No problem.
Hey. Equip part. Ah, they brought back the parts gathering stuff from back in the days. Nice. You can upgrade your guns with parts found. Now I can pick locks. Nice.
So no longer getting stuck behind doors?
I hope not. Yes. I need to make some first aid kits. Alright. Seems like I am once stuck again. Oh no, I'm not. And I'm back here, I see. No, I'm supposed to go back to the wine room, I guess.
You still need to put that bottle in there, right?
Upstairs, if I remember it correctly. Yeah. Wow! Mind is blown! Key. Courtyard key, okay. It's a weird place to store a key, but I'll take it. Now, where is this courtyard? Courtyard. I don't see it. Hall of 4. I guess I haven't been there yet. But I have, right? Yeah, I have. Oh, this door. Could it be? Nope. Oh. Nope. I'm supposed to find these items and then I'll be able to open the door. Okay, okay, okay. Got it. Chat, I am once again asking for your help. Where am I supposed to go?
Hussein, are you still there? John needs you.
Thanks to your consistent patronage.
Let me
I've
save my progress for
expanded
now.
my service.
Before the cycle kills me.
Forza says, I think it's time to visit the merchant.
And then what?
Maybe the merchant's got something for
As
sale
you wish.
that you need.
I do have some money now. That's true. What am I going to use it for?
The key to that door.
Rate of fire, power, reload speed, ammo. I guess I'm gonna go for... I want to have power, so I'm not gonna waste my money on rate of fire for now. And the shotgun, reload speed, yeah. Screw it. Let's upgrade rate of fire.
Katas is saying, why doesn't Mike play? Ja, let him play, bro.
This
No
is all
worries,
an
no worries.
investment.
I'm not a single player type of gamer. So when it's multiplayer, I will totally wreck Ja in any shooter again. Okay, maybe not Counter-Strike. The other one should be fine.
We all have our perks. I didn't know you can buy lockpick. Oh, okay.
You have to go to the kitchen, Ja.
Thank you for
Kitchen?
your patronage.
Yep.
Where's the
You
kitchen?
go through the kitchen and open a door to the courtyard.
Wait. Well, where is the kitchen? Dining room, I guess. Merchant's room, hall of 4. I've just been
There
there.
on the right.
Bed
kitchen.
chamber, lockpick.
All the way on the right, the blue thing. Top right.
Kitchen. I see.
Kitchen.
I see. Okay, let me lockpick that one first. See what I get. Okay, I'm here, I guess.
Merrick says, well, wait for Resident Evil to release the multiplayer mode. Then, that sounds good to me.
Well, look at
Then I
this.
get interested.
I'm doing this without hands.
Oh, decent.
Yay. I believe I can also make some shotgun bullets. No, I can't. Only handgun. Alright. Next, let's go back to main hall and then pick lock again. Alright. Once you get into this, it's gonna become very addictive because you don't want to miss out on anything.
Katarsis says, I want to see Mike play Warzone. We have played Warzone in the past
Yeah,
with
all
all of us, I
all
think.
4 of us.
Yeah? You can look at that. It's for sure on YouTube.
Again? Who is this? What? One hit and I'm...
Or perhaps in the future, yeah.
That's perfect. My throat, it's so dry.
Go drink some water, you psycho! Wait, where is that cold space that I just came from?
Run, Ja.
Ugh, so thirsty.
Ah, it doesn't fit!
Apparently you can only kill her with a melee attack.
With what?
Melee attack, knife or smack her.
Really? Really?
Okay, maybe not.
That wasn't so
No,
successful.
Mother said to fail, but I can
she's still alive. Ford says, yes, come on, give her some blood. Well, she will get it herself.
Wait, why is she not following me? This is so annoying. Now I have to re-walk this entire space. Really? Okay.
Repo Man is saying, so she's a gaming chair. Because you're attacking her with a knife.
I wouldn't mind sitting on her.
That's an interesting preference.
And here we are again. Luckily I know the way now.
So, is this the kitchen?
No, but I was trying to escape the psycho. Doesn't fit. Oh, nice.
I think it's about time to end it for today.
Yep. Let me just get upstairs.
And then we will do one more winner in the giveaway. So if you haven't participated yet,
Yeah,
make sure
I
to
was
do
trying to
so
find this
now.
place so I can kill her.
So go to amazon.com/2/insider, or if you're watching on YouTube or Twitch, follow the direct link to Gleam in the chat. And make sure, if you're not signed up yet, to sign up for our last
Next time,
drawing of the day.
I'm gonna do it next time.
And today people are extra lucky because they're not $20 US Steam wallet codes, but $60 US Steam wallet codes. So people can, for example, get Resident Evil Village. Or any other game if you're scared of Resident Evil.
Okay, I think after this it will autosave so I can put it to rest. I'm outside. Something is supposed to happen. All right.
So let's draw our final winner for today.
So who is it gonna be?
Time will tell.
And seems like the problem didn't occur again.
We fixed it. We have our final winner. You can announce him, John.
Well, James Wang, congratulations on
Congratulations.
winning the last bundle of today.
With $60 US in Steam Wallet credit.
Yeah, make sure to check out Village, and yeah, congratulations, and look out for any incoming emails from me in the coming days.
Don't forget to send them, John.
All right,
I'm sure
guys.
people are
Yeah, so that was pretty much it for Resident Evil Village. Definitely really like this game, so I'm probably gonna finish it in the coming days. I know I'm probably not gonna be having this setup to play with at home, but I'm gonna have to make do.
I think you will sleep in the office and continue on this system.
Yeah, why not? I work here, right? So save some time anyways. Okay, cool guys. Yeah, what about next week? So next week we're actually still deciding on the topic because I might be doing a gaming desktop live stream next week because we have some nice new lineups and models ready to be launched and shown to you guys. But that really depends on our lovely colleagues at the headquarters, whether we can receive the samples on time. So next week's live stream might still be a surprise. So yeah, if you want to find out, tune in next week to
We will for sure
see
be
what we're
here,
gonna talk
same
about.
place, same time. So that just depends on with which topic, but don't worry, we will be here anyway.
Okay. So, yeah, if you guys don't have anything other to add to the chat, then we're probably going to be saying goodbye to you.
Thank you for watching and see you again next week.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Happy that you stopped by.